Dad and I are in a race to win the Premier League. We started off in the Vanarama National League with Sutton and Hartlepool United. And after 4 seasons, we found ourselves both in Sky Bet League 1. And financially, it's been a bit of a struggle too, especially for my Sutton United side. But with Dad's promotion last season, he's extended the loan signing of defensive midfielder Christopher Kidd for another season. But he did lose his goalkeeper, who's arguably his best player, to a release clause. The money was a great help this summer for him though, and he's even brought in a very good replacement for a fraction of the cost. The season preview does not favour either of us surviving at all, so let's just hope that the players that we have signed help us finish further up the table than predicted. And we've already had the pleasure of matching up against each other though in the first game of the season, and while I took the lead from a rocket of a volley, Dad still managed to return to Hartlepool with a point thanks to Mateta's header at the back post. Well Dad, welcome to Sky Bet League 1.
Yes, I'm looking forward to being a bit against you, but I think it'll be a bit of a struggle.
I'll say I was the welcoming party in our 1-1 draw. Jean-Philippe Mateta got himself a goal to equal the scoring, 1-1 at the start of the season there in our first clash in the very first game of the season. But you've had quite an interesting summer because you lost your keeper.
Yeah.
But if anything,
I'm so disappointed with that. Well, it did because they give me
money.
Yeah, they give me quite a bit of money, but I just didn't want to lose him. But you can afford to lose a couple of players or something like that, but I didn't really want to lose him. He's such a good keeper.
Yeah.
So I really struggled to replace him as getting a good quality keeper in the same place.
I don't know. I think the one you found was quite good.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've done well finding this one. So he's only 21 as well. So hopefully, if he does improve, then I can. Just leave him there then. Yeah,
okay. So that was 175k. The rest of the signings that you made, pretty much free transfers. Nico Lawrence also left for 135, but I think you spent the most of that just on loan signings, which came in all on deadline day.
Yeah,
so we'll look at them first. Jace Fitzgerald, who's a centre midfielder. We've got Trey Ogunsunyi, who is really far away, and my eyes are like, what does that say? As a good striker, good natural fitness. And then Ephraim Yaboa, 21-year-old from Bristol City.
Yeah.
He is fast.
Yes. Two good strikers, two young good strikers. So I'm hoping they're going to help me out this season. So
I mean, he played for Exeter last season and got 10 goals in 12 games. So he knows where
the net is. Yeah, that's good enough for me.
A lot of free transfers came in though, because of course you are losing players as well.
Yeah, definitely.
As I was as well. Dean Campbell was one there, and the very first one that came in was Brad Potts.
Yeah, good midfield player.
So going into this season, you're switching things around, going to a 4-1-3-2.
I just want to survive.
Yeah.
Sort of box out that midfield and make it really hard to beat me. So, and hopefully the two young lads up front, they're quick. Yeah. They know where the net is. Hopefully they'll breakaways and find a goal for me.
I mean, they haven't played a game yet because obviously they joined.
They've only just come in. Yeah.
On deadline day. So
looking at my results, I bloody need them as well, don't I?
Oh yeah. I mean, Mateta's got 1 goal, but that was against me, and then he hasn't scored since.
Yeah.
But right now you are struggling because you haven't actually won a game in League 1. You've drawn 3, lost a couple games, already knocked out of the competition there. And as you say, you're currently sat in 21st place. Me, on the other hand, I mean, we already know that I'm financially just struggling every season now, but I'm still managing to plod away and pick up results. You can see I only lost 1 game to Wigan. And the signings that I've made, mainly off the back of Charlie Kelman last season and then nobody this season, are all just free transfers and loan deals. I mean, Jamal Lewis is one of them. Of course, he's had Premier League experience. Harrison Neal from Grimsby comes into my centre mid. A good loan signing from Tottenham there, who plays on the wing there. Joshua Williams is another one who plays in that right back. Kieran Brown and Frankie Rernham, who I think is the best one so far. And I'm starting to learn a little bit here. 3-year contract. Straight away, 3-year contract.
Yeah.
Got good potential. Not a great player yet, but has that good potential. So what I'm thinking is we just bring him in to hopefully play every single game, and that's what I'm looking to do. I wanted to play in this role here. So where actually my best 11 pick still puts Crooks in there. Crooks is like, 33 now. I think we need to be playing Rernham in there instead.
Yeah.
See, I'm kind of going with this 4-4-1-1 with Cole pretty much being my striker, Runham in behind. I think that could work quite well. So we'll see how that one plays out. But as I say, at the start of the season, I am beating teams. I mean, I've got a nice little win against Argyle there and Exeter back-to-back there, going to the southwest.
Yeah.
So actually, they both came to me. We're both home games.
Yeah.
But yeah, our season preview doesn't give us a lot of favours in terms of expectations. We're both down at the bottom there. You've actually come off from the bottom. You were on the bottom, but which has now put me on the bottom. Makes no sense, but I think we'll still be okay. Well, I think I will anyway. I've managed to survive the last couple of seasons, but I think you've got a good enough team, and the loan signings that you just made,
Yeah.
that's going to be the difference.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, let's see if that happens. Considering the lack of funds and just being promoted, Downside was coping well in Sky Bet League 1. And after 27 games, we are reasonably close to one another and also just outside the playoff spots. Once again, I had a nice run in the FA Cup until the 4th round where Liverpool battered us. But when Dad and I clashed again, I got a lead late into the second half, but he had my number and was pushing for a playoff finish, and snatching all 3 points thanks to 2 late goals was really going to help. And when I say late, I mean injury time late. And Dad's Hartlepool side snuck into the playoffs, finishing 9 points above me as I just missed out. However, a heavy loss to Stockport in the second leg meant they didn't take a trip to Wembley this time round and will stay in League 1 with me for another season. Well, a lot better season than what was anticipated, especially from yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'll be honest with you, I'm happy I didn't go up.
Yeah.
As much as you say, oh no, you should have got. No, that'd have been just too much. I reckon I'd have come straight back down again.
Find your feet first.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Go up in a season or two later.
I mean, obviously the strikers worked for me. They started scoring goals for me and started winning games and that. But they're not my players, so I'd have had to replace them straight away. But what a season I've had. I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, Stockport County, who did beat you 4-1 in that second leg of the semi-final in the playoffs, got themselves promoted. They were only a point above you, though. They go up with Wrexham and Bristol City. I was down in 8th. Well, I didn't do too bad. I mean, you beat me towards the end of the season, which led to, obviously, your last little push in there. But I had a bad end of the season. I only one win in the last 5 fixtures. It's not great. Mine was more based in the cups. I mean, if we're looking at my actual cups, 5th round of the FA Cup to Liverpool, which is lovely. Quarter-final of the Carabao Cup, Man United. So
I mean, you can't odds that being beat by 2 teams like that. So
yeah,
you've got to be happy with that.
It's just a shame that financially it does nothing for my club.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's still not great. It's a little bit better. 75 grand there, but I think at the minute, that's not great, is it?
No.
So really struggling. And people who are like, oh yeah, but what do you expect when you're spending all of your wage budget? What's it there for then?
That's right, yeah.
What's the point in giving it to me if you can't actually use it? And I am, at the minute, losing a few players. I mean, Nana Boateng and Max Woodcock. Hopefully I can keep them around, because I do believe Max Woodcock is my second top scorer, only behind Frankie Runham, who, of course, I locked in, and he has done exceptionally well.
Yeah, it's
from
good.
That centre attacking midfield.
Definitely,
13 assists as well as the goals. Nice bit of development. Really happy that we managed to lock him in. Look at his value gone up as well. So, hey, I might have to cash him in at some point. Hopefully not quite yet. He's on a cheap wage, by the way. In comparison to some of my other players, he is on a very cheap wage. I mean, we got 3k there for Nana Boateng, who I think I brought up from the National League, and he's dreadful in comparison, really. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing next season in terms of those players, but we'll see. We'll have a little look. Yourself, though, Dad. I mean, your other competitions, 3rd round and 2nd round by Stoke and Portsmouth, but you really pushed for the league. Yeah. It was quite unfortunate, really. Again, you actually had a bad end of the season.
I could have finished a lot higher.
Reading, yeah.
I was lucky to stay in the playoffs, I think.
Yeah. So, no, but you got there.
Yeah.
It was just a shame the performance in the end. A nice little trip to Wembley would have been quite good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have done, yeah.
But anyway, the transfer budget for yourself, you've got a nice budget. 250k.
Because I'll lose that for the wage.
It's weird, isn't it? It goes down quite a lot. But what about players leaving? So we're in 2028. You have got a fair amount of players. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm really struggling there as well, aren't I?
I mean, obviously some of them are loan players, but that
4 loan players and the rest are all contracts.
Yeah, that's 18 players. 18 players.
And a lot of those players played majority of my season as well.
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. So contracts might need to be offered, but you might be losing a few of them. Yeah. That's the downside there as we continue this race to the Prem. We're in season number 5, going into season number 6 summer, and we're still stuck in Sky Bet League 1. When July 1st came around and Dad's players' contracts have run out, you can see the holes that they left on the pitch. No! A position that I really wanted to improve, though, was a striker, and Kieran Offord is someone I could see that would really help us gain promotion, and he signs a 3-year deal. I was also switching things up again to try and find the perfect formula to help with our goals to get into the championship. Meanwhile, Dad was keeping the same system that got him into the playoffs last year, but with some new signings that hopefully will impact the club. Oh, Dad, it's very rare that you decide to keep the same tactic.
Yes. Well, I got to the playoffs, so it must have worked.
Yeah.
So I just got to hope, really, that the 2 new strikers I got in there, they do the same business for me, really.
Yeah, because obviously the 2 loan signings left.
Yeah.
No loan signings at all this season.
No. Couldn't get anybody to come to me.
I mean, financially, it was...
And I struggled with wages, yeah. I don't think I had much left.
Will Swan did come in as a new striker. Joins the club on a free. Stanley Joseph, I think this is probably your best signing of the summer. Left-sided centre-back, which is always really hard to find.
Yeah,
he's pacey as well, and he's only 23.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good signing. Off the back of that, though, then we've got San Nom.
Another good striker, really.
Another good striker.
Yeah.
With good bit of pace there. And finally, Daly, who, again, is a striker. So 3 strikers coming in, again, with a bit of pace as well. So, but no names going out, just those releases of free transfers.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, release players, you can see the amount that did leave the club, including Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Yeah.
So you actually had quite a few strikers because Benica Phobie left and Macaulay Bonn as well, who were all strikers.
I tried to offer more new contracts, but some of them weren't interested.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No. Mateta still hasn't even got a club. Might go in for him. He's 31 now, still looking for a club. He probably should have just stuck around. I never understand it. No, to be honest, he was happy when he was...
Yeah, I offered him a contract. Straight no.
Yeah, he played 43 games last season, so I don't understand why. Still scored 16 goals, never mind. But yeah, tactically, sticking with what you had already, and we're looking at the results so far. I mean, it's inconsistent to some extent, but you only lost 1 league game, which was Wigan.
Yeah. So I'm quite happy with that so far at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, that game was my first game as well, so I felt like, I lost the next game against Argo, was a bit disappointed, but then I started slightly improving then.
Yeah. So in the league, it ain't looking too bad. Myself, though, I've had quite a boring window too, really, because my actual transfers in, I've only got 3 players coming in off the back of last season, of course, where we had quite a nice little window. Kieran Offord is a good signing, though. Scottish striker. I've used him in a previous challenge before, and he was very good for me, so I'm hoping he can do the same again. Great physical attributes in there. Sekou Kone from Manchester United, so good loan deal there.
Yeah.
He has a bit of pace about him as a defensive midfielder. And then Samuel Tabares as a centre-back who can also play right-back. You might recognise him because I loaned him 2 seasons ago as well. So loaned him for the second time in Sky Bet League 1. So hopefully this time he can help us get a little bit further up the table. But those are the only signings that I did make. Because again, the money.
Not easy.
And again, I'm changing my style of play around and see if I can do something this season, because this is like, I can't even remember how many seasons I've been in this league already. I'm getting quite, not frustrated, I'm getting worried.
Yeah.
That I'm just going to stay. Do you remember when, I think it's Preston, innit? That they've never gone up, never gone down for however many years. I don't want to be one of those clubs and give you an advantage if you manage to sneak into the playoffs this season and go above. And then I'm like, panic stations. So, yeah, I am trying to get promoted now. I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want to get promoted. No, I really am trying. But it's not quite working just yet. And so far, at the start of this season, doesn't look like it's going to be this season either. I've had 4 defeats in a row recently too, and 2 of them were in the league. I've only actually won 1 game, which was a 1-0. We're not scoring goals at all. So I don't really know what's going to happen this season. I've got you in the next month as well as Argyle as well. So that's where I think after a couple of months we can start to tell, obviously, where we're roughly going to finish in the league. But if we are looking at the season preview, again, we're both in the bottom 3.
Not looking good, is it?
No. But we'll keep defying the odds and keep trying to gain promotion this season. Dad and I actually played against each other twice before the new year came in, with the first game finishing 0-0 and the second finishing 1-0 to Sutton United just before the Christmas period, which now actually takes the results between us to 3-1 for me in terms of wins so far. But Dan was more concerned on his team's performance overall as he slumps into the bottom half while I'm challenging for the playoffs. He also had a trip to Old Trafford in the new year in the third round of the FA Cup, where they unfortunately lost 4-0. And I only managed to get to the fourth round of the FA Cup before Middlesbrough knocked me out as well. Annoyingly for me, February was a really bad month with only one league win, and that has really harmed my hopes of a playoff spot with just 4 games left. That was fairly safe though, and my one positive was striker Kieran Offord played really well this season and adapted well to League One football. And hopefully keeping him for at least 2 more years will help as we still try to find a way to gain promotion from this division. Right, well, we've gone backwards this season.
Especially me.
It seems. Yeah. Down into 16th place, Dad. I was down in 10th. Nowhere near the playoffs, really. 69 points. 74 would have been Reading, who just missed out, so 76. So about 10 points, and I would have been up there, but I was just nowhere close. And the teams that came down were really good this season. I know Cardiff was one of them. They've missed out, so they've got another season here.
Yeah.
Some big clubs have gone up into the Championship. We have really struggled. The only good thing I think from this is 51 points. You are 6 points above relegation, but am I right in saying it was never really close? You were never down there.
I had a real bad finish.
Yeah.
So yeah, it dropped me right down.
You sort of were like mid-table in sort of that bottom half, whereas me, I started off bad, but we kind of just switched and then just stayed roughly where we were. We weren't like yo-yoing or like dangerously close to the relegation scrap. And we are struggling. I'm struggling.
Well, I am.
Yeah, the money is not great. I mean, again, I'm $1 million in debt. And yeah, you can suggest all you like, don't spend your money. What am I supposed to do when nobody wants to come and buy my players? You have to improve the team. Yeah, what am I supposed to do? Because certain players are joining the club, not really doing much, or loan deals can't really get the players that you really want. You can't even afford loan players. Yeah, I think
the worst thing is when you go on the transfer line at market and have a look around and you see a player that you think he would improve my team quite a bit, but you need to sell 1 or 2 players. And you look at sort of like say your best player and he's worth $1.5 million or something like that. You try and sell him and no one wants him.
No.
And you just know by selling that one player, you could get 2 or 3 decent players in.
Yeah.
To change the team, and that no one's interested in your best player technically.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing about it.
I mean, there's no wanted signs next to my players at the minute. How am I losing? So 2029 is the season we're in. I'm losing a lot this year. A lot of players. And again, this is the trouble. You offer these players extra contracts to keep them at your club. Those are the ones that then eat up your wage budget. But then if you don't offer them contracts, you got to find
another player,
15 players. So this is the predicament that we are in right now. I mean, my top goal scorer this season, Kieran Offord, who I just brought in, he's got another 2 years left, so that's absolutely fine. And Frankie Runham, of course, got another 2 years left. He's getting better and better.
I mean, yeah, you're looking at him like he's around the 3 million mark.
Yeah,
that 3 million would be absolutely brilliant for you.
Yeah,
you try getting the 3 million for him.
No, I won't get that.
No,
I'll get screwed.
Yeah.
So there's not really much point. So I mean, transfer budget, they give me nothing at the minute. Again, I might just have to wait for those players to leave, and then it gives me some kind of wage to offer out more. And I think you're probably in a similar situation, really.
Yeah.
With a smaller squad at this point. I mean, Will Swan only 13 goals. You lacked the loanees this year, I think. Your goalkeeper is your most expensive.
Yeah.
Considering you bought him for 175k, I mean, the value of him is unbelievable.
I think if you go back to my squad, I'm a little bit better off than you. That I've got 5 players in the million.
Yeah.
That I only need to sell 1, maybe 2 of them, and I could do really well then of getting 4 or 5 players in.
It's just nobody is coming in at lower league and giving you £1 million.
Like you said, I ain't got no wanteds beside them neither, so it's it's not going to be easy to sell any of them.
No, your finances aren't as bad as mine. You're at £6,000 in the bank. You have got debts and loans though, because I noticed we both have that. But it ain't as bad when you look at it on paper. Again though, the transfer budget for you is non-existent as we've gone into this. And I feel like it's going to take until we get promoted before we actually start to see any money coming in to be able to, live secure without us having to scrap. But that's the nature of the beast, and that is what we're up against.
We've got to get up there first.
In Race to the Prem. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you are subscribed because you don't want to miss what happens next. Yes, because right now we are struggling here in Sky Bet League One, but all it takes is one lucky season to get ourselves into the championship.